Thank you, Madam Chair. A lot of stuff to say here, but my speech has been limited, so I will try to squeeze it down. The sponsor just got up and said that there's going to be discussion on the Second Amendment, but this doesn't affect the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment doesn't affect this. That's not true in so many different ways. This is what we've built, and this is what we continue to build. Why? Because the state wants to take our weapons. The state wants to take our tools. The state wants to take our firearms, and that is against the Constitution of the United States. The Constitution of the United States says that in the Second Amendment that we are to have a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. The right of people, that's me, you, the right of people to keep and bear arms. The latest, most advanced arms of the day. And then it says, and this is the part that we keep attacking in this room, shall not be infringed. Infringed is a pretty large word when it comes to this, and this bill directly infringes upon the right to keep and bear arms. What if you don't want an insurance policy? What if you can't afford an insurance policy on this? Well, that doesn't matter. The state says you have to have one. Let me give you some other things that the state has told us that's infringement. That you have to keep your firearm in a lockbox in your trunk. That's infringement. That's infringement. That's the Second Amendment. You have to have a 3-day waiting period. That's an infringement, and that one actually puts women specifically in danger, and we have recorded incidences of women being killed during that 3-day period because she can't have a firearm. 21 to buy a handgun. That's an infringement. So then the state says, oh, we'll be smart about this. We'll come around from the other side. We'll let credit card companies build a registry on your firearms, although the Supreme Court said you can't build a registry. Well, no, the government can.
I hate to interrupt you, but could we concentrate on this bill, which has to do with insurance?
Yeah, I'm answering the sponsor's question. The credit card companies that are now doing the work of the state to build a registry. This is an infringement.
Representative Bottoms, I'm really sorry, but we really need to stick to the topic at hand, which is insurance.
This is an infringement, and I will not move on that. This is an infringement. So now the credit card companies are the ones who are going to collect all your names, and then they're going to give it to the government and sell it to whoever they want. Then we have concealed carry. There's already rules about that infringes, and the SCOTUS said you can't do that either. And then we say, well, now you have to have all this extra training. So people are having to pay more money to do something that is their Second Amendment right. Insurance. Now we're going to get insurance companies to do our work. We're getting credit card companies to do our work. We're getting the concealed carry process to do the work of the state. Now we're getting insurance companies to do the work of the state. And we're saying that now insurance companies, not only also putting an extra pressure on insurance companies that have to we are mandating for them to build a policy in that is outside the Constitution. So now we're making credit card companies go against the Constitution. I mean, insurance companies go against the Constitution. And then we're going to make another layer of this to infringe. It's against the Constitution. When the sponsor says this doesn't affect the Second Amendment, it's infringement. This is illegal. It is unconstitutional. And no matter how many silly laws we make in this room, it is unconstitutional. This is another requirement. We're going to make the marketplace break the Constitution. Another reason to keep people from having guns. That's the only purpose. Get rid of all guns. Take away all guns. Take away all guns. Take away all guns. That's the only purpose of this long litany of requirements that we put on things. The state can't do it through the Constitution, so they're going to get credit card companies and insurance companies to do this. And here's another thing that is just, this is part of the bizarro world that I live in every day in this place, is we voted against this very thing for midwives. We voted against liability for midwives, but now we're voting for liability on people's guns. What world does this make sense? This is make-believe land. But except for the fact that we cannot let you have your guns. We cannot let you have your guns. And the sponsor also gave statistics of how many people in the state of Colorado own guns? Let me help you out with this. Many, many people in the state of Colorado will never tell this body, the FBI or the government, how many guns they have or if they have guns. And the sponsors know this. There's many, many people in Colorado that will never tell the people that are trying to take their guns they have guns. The same way they didn't do it back in the Revolution. They will not tell the government. So that statistic is way higher. So what do we need to do? We need to find out who actually has guns. Well, how are we going to do that? We can't have a state registry. Well, let's have the insurance companies do it. The insurance companies can make you say, I need a rider. I need a rider for my guns. Well, now we know you have guns. Hello, SCOTUS said you can't do that. It's against the law. And contrary to what the sponsor said, this is directly against the Second Amendment. They are having insurance company build registries, just like they had the credit card companies. This is another egregious attack against our constitutional rights. An egregious attack against the Constitution, which we supposedly said that we were going to uphold. And we're actually doing the opposite. We're breaking the law on paper coming out of this room to go to the governor's desk. With that, I move Amendment 008 and ask to have it displayed.
Can you please tell us about your amendment, Representative Bottoms?
As I said the other day, Thomas Jefferson encouraged me to resist and make sure the government knows I'm resisting. I resist this crazy, outlandish, unconstitutional law. I resist all of them that do this, and I stand against this law. I resist, and I tell this body, the Senate next door, the governor, and the federal governor, the federal government, you will not take my arms. You will not infringe upon my rights. It is not your business if I own a firearm. It will never be your business. Stay out of the Second Amendment and stay out of my business. I move that this amendment be accepted and it will strike the entire bill.